Hi guys, and welcome to yet another video here on my channel. Today I'll be testing out the new Harmonic barrel tuner from FX. The barrel tuner is a device that you connect to the end of your barrel like this, and by sliding a weight back and forth you are reducing the vibrations of the barrel and thereby improving your accuracy. The barrel tuner is easy to install on your gun. Let me show you how it's done. First you remove your silencer. Like this, and then you take your barrel tuner. It comes with a 1/2 inch UNF, so it will fit any gun with this thread, and then you just attach it like this. And then reattach your silencer, and you're ready to shoot. When you receive your barrel tuner, it comes like this. There are two different versions available. There is this one, and then there's one that's attached to a carbon shroud. When I ordered mine, this was the only one that was available, so yeah, it was a pretty easy choice. It comes with these three different inserts, one for 177 and 22, one for 25, and one for 30 caliber. Be sure to install the right one, and you definitely don't want to install one that's too small. As you can see here on the shroud, there are different markings on it. There are big and there are small hash marks, and with one of the big ones there's a tiny little dot. This is what I'll be referring to as the 0. I've done some testing before today, so I have some idea within which ranges that I'll be testing it at. When you've attached the Harmonic barrel tuner, you turn it as far forward as you can, and then you turn it a little bit back until you find the big hash marks with the dot on it, and that's your 0. And from here you can turn it a number of rotations back towards the gun. I've tested it from the first rotation back to the 5th rotation, and somewhere in between there I found some sweet spots where I thought that this is the range where it makes sense to do some further testing. I found it to be accurate on the 3rd rotation, so today I'll be testing it at 2.5 rotation up till the end of the 3rd rotation. First up, I'll be testing it with the big hash marks and with 4 shots on each setting, and after that I'll make a conclusion and see on which settings that I'll be doing some fine tuning with the smaller hash marks. So with that said, I'll go and set up the camera at the target. I'll turn up the speed because there's a lot of shots to be shot today, so let's get going. Okay, so these are a lot of shots, and I'll go back to the table and measure it out. So looking at it from here, it seems like there's definitely an effect to the barrel tuner, no doubt about that. I mean, you can tune it to shoot extremely bad, so if you can do that, you can also tune it to shoot extremely well. That's my assumption. So looking at it from here, it seems like the settings around 3.2, 3.3 and 3.4, even 3.5 looks good, and the rest of it, yeah, there are some places where it looks good and there are some places where it looks extremely bad, but let's measure it out. Okay, now having measured up the target, it seems like in the beginning it's okay, 21, 22, and then at 2.8 it opens up, and then again you can see that it's starting to tighten up. 3.3 seems to be a very nice group. There's a little marking that I made to the top right there. That was a shot that I definitely know that I pulled. 3.4, nice group as well, and then it's starting to open up as well. But as you can see, as it's opening up, immediately after it starts to tighten up again. So when you get down to 4.3 or 4.4, it's starting to tighten up again. And I bet that if you continue like this, you'll start to hit some settings where you get the same groups as you did on 3.3. Okay, so now that we've measured up and we've seen how the groups were with the different settings, it's time to choose which groups we want to try to fine tune. And with the groups of 3.3 and 3.4 being pretty nice, I would imagine that I would start out at just before 3.3 and start on the smaller hash marks. So maybe do it at 3.22. So in between 3.2 and 3.3. Again, the first three being the third rotation, and the next three is the big hash mark. So now dividing them into four, I'm starting between 3.2 and 3.3. I hope that you can follow me here. But so let's see how it goes and see if we can get some better accuracy than we shot here. Okay, so here are the results of the last test. Comparing it to the first sheet that I shot, the groups was between 15 and 36 millimeters, and I was only adjusting on the big hash marks. Then moving to fine adjustment, the groups was between 24 and 13 millimeters. So there's definitely an effect on the barrel tuner. So what's the best setting for me then? Looking at it from here, it seems like 3.31 or 3.5. But what I'm thinking of looking at these sheets is that you can't expect the barrel tuner to do everything for you. There is a human factor as well, and maybe I'm not the best shot in the world, but I can see that from what I've shot on the first sheet to the second sheet, there is some variation. But what can I expect from a distance of around 52 meters that I'm shooting today? I did some testing previously where I compared the STX to the XTS to the STX superior liner in 50 millimeters, and shooting the superior liner now, I'll compare it to what I shot in that test. On 34 meters I shot a group of 7 millimeters, and on 75 meters I shot a group of 22. So I would say a group around 15 millimeters would be up to my standards. So measurements and settings, once again 3.31, 15 millimeters, and the setting on the 3.5 with 13 millimeters. Those are acceptable groups, and you have to remember that I have spent quite some time adjusting this gun without the barrel tuner, and I've just installed the barrel tuner. I don't know if any of you might be shooting the FX and how long it took for you to get familiar with the gun and get familiar on how to set up the gun, which ammunition to use, and the weather, and all kinds of things. So should we really expect that we can just slap on the Harmonic barrel tuner and use that from day one? I'm not so sure, because I want to learn how to use the barrel tuner to see can we expect to see what can we expect from this. Okay, and this little segment was shot after the video was done because I wanted to test how the gun actually did on longer distances. I was testing the barrel tuner at 52 meters, I think it was. But to see what it was really capable of when I found the right settings, I moved my setup out to 100 meters up here. I didn't record it, I'm sorry, and for validity I always film everything with both the scope cam and the camera at the target, but this one I just shot because I wanted to see how the results were. So for the two settings that I chose, 3.5 and 3.31, I wanted to test them at 100 meters, and here it comes. First 5-shot group that I did on 3.5 was here. I hope you can see it. That's a 41 millimeter group, which is pretty acceptable for my standards and what I've been shooting before. But then I went and shot a group at the setting 3.31, and this is the result. 25 millimeters. That's 1 inch. That's just shy of 1 inch group. From 177 on 100 meters, not 100 yards, but 100 meters. I would say I was pretty stoked when I saw this. If I'm a bit not too impressed by the barrel tuner in the rest of the video, I can definitely tell you that after shooting it at 100 meters after the video was supposed to be finished, this result is definitely acceptable. So the final conclusion is, does it serve a purpose? Looking at these sheets, I would say that it definitely does. And will I keep my barrel tuner on my gun? Yes, I will. Can I tune my gun without it? Yes, I can, and I can shoot some very decent groups with it. But there are just some different things to take into consideration now. So with that said, it's up to you. Do you want to install it or you don't? That's up to you. But think about it and give me your thoughts in the comment section below. But until next time, take care and shoot safe.